Lightbits block storage on AWS allows you to accelerate applications performance with enterprise-class data services while reducing overall costs by more than half. I will demonstrate the Lightbits storage cluster deployment and its integration with your existing resources. If any steps are not clear, you will be able to find them in our documentation, and do not hesitate to reach out to us. To ease the deployment, prepare the stack name of your choice, your existing VPC ID and CIDR, as well as the private subnet range for your cluster. You will need an EC2 key pair to connect to your instances. To store your cluster configuration, you will need an S3 bucket with read and write access. We recommend you to review the minimum permissions for your account in our documentation. Once you have subscribed, let's select Launch CloudFormation to launch your deployment. Then click Next to create your stack. Fill out the CloudFormation form with the values you have prepared earlier. Use the values from your VPC and make sure the subnet range for the cluster is shorter than the one of the VPC. Use the bucket name of your configuration bucket that you have read and write access to from this account. I will leave the backup service enabled, as I have made mistakes in the past. Click Next on the stack options and approve the capabilities to create the stack. You will now see that the stack is being created with its nested tags, and you can follow its creation. In the root stack resources, you will find the event log group. This allows you to view major cluster events, including the initiation of the deployment and its completion. Once the cluster is deployed, we can start integrating it with your resources. In order to get started, we need to retrieve the network load balancer and retrieve the subsystem NQN that we will retrieve during volume creation. The network load balancer is located in the app stack. Copy the DNS name. Let's connect to one of the storage servers so we can create volumes in the cluster. The servers are in an autoscaling group in the app stack. Select any one of them and connect to it. Now export the previously saved DNS name and the Lightbits system JWT. Now we will create a volume where the endpoint is the NLB's DNS name. Use lbcli get cluster in order to get the NQN so we can attach our clients to that namespace. Now we connect to your client, run modprobe nvme tcp. NVMe list will not show any volumes at this point. Export the subsystem NQN and the DNS IP of the network load balancer so that we can add it to the discovery client. Once we launch the discovery client and do NVMe list, we will see our volumes in the client. Now you can mount the volume and create a file system. Thank you for using Lightbits on AWS. If you have any questions, please reach out to us or review our documentation.